What was the dumbest thing you ever did to try and impress a girl or guy? My senior year of HS, I told one of my best friends, who was also this sweet, beautiful, very in shape, football playing boy, to throw the football as high as he possibly could, and I would catch it, you know, to impress him and make him realize I was the girl of his dreams. He threw it high. I did not catch it. I did fracture my pointer finger when it bounced off my hands. Had to wear a friggin' finger cast to school for a few weeks and go to physical therapy for my finger. He felt terrible. I felt like an idiot. He did buy me "I'm sorry" flowers though, so that was nice. People at school thought my finger brace was hilarious, since I was constantly walking around giving a number one hand gesture due to the brace. Everyone at school started giving me the number one gesture when I walked by them. Good times. This past year I threw a fairly large college house party just so the guy I liked could attend. I didn't want to show him too much favoritism, so I tried to run around and talk to everyone as I was the main host. Luckily my best friend kept him company and acted as my faithful wing woman. The night ended with me and my crush talking outside, getting closer and closer until he asked me if I threw the party for him. Even being drunk didn't soften the blow of straight awkwardness. I tried to laugh it off and deflect, but I'm a terrible actor, lol. Looking back, it was kind of obvious the entire party was an excuse to see him, and I now understand why I liked reading The Great Gatsby so much in high school. Guys are idiots. There is no way he figured it out on his own. There is a traitor in your story. Signed up for a French class in high school because a girl I like was in one. Turns out she was into me too, but my dumbass signed up for French 1 when she was already in it, and the following year she was in French 2, and I was sitting all alone in French 1 in a class I didn't care about. Au moins 2 pukes per la francaise. I don't speak surrender. I lied and said I had experience in journalism because I didn't think we'd have anything except a brief encounter when I'd actually only taken one class in college. Our first date he took me with to report on a local clash between police and citizens, and I got tear gassed and robbed. This takes the cake. And the wallet. Ah yes, nothing says I fancy you like taking her to the riots on the first date. Getting up from the bleachers to play dodgeball, I tried to pull my sweatpants off while yelling "let's do this." Ended up yanking off everything, boxers and all. Bold. Stare down the other team and yell "let's get it on." In elementary school, when I walked by this girl I liked, I would pretend to chew gum and crack my knuckles cause I thought I'd look cool. Jesus. I bet this kid could carry so many folding chairs at once. Love this 9-year-old me was so impressed when Brandon could lift *FIVE* at once. Kids are so fucking weird. Brandon is a monster. I was the first high schooler she knew who got my license. I drove us to hang out with friends of hers. Mostly guy friends. I guess she was trying to date one of them. I know that humiliation. Had a similar scenario driving friends around, and one of my friends ended up fingering my crush in the backseat while I drove around. Wrecked. Edit. Thanks for the condolences, guys. This happened 24 years ago. I've moved on. Lol. I'm a girl, and I had a close guy friend in high school. I had a brief crush on him early in the friendship, but that dissipated when I learned he had a Napoleon complex. I introduced him to another friend of mine. The first time they were gonna hang out he wanted me there to make sure it went smoothly. It went way too smooth, and by 2 PM in broad daylight he pulled into a bank parking lot and asked me to stand outside the car for a bit. I hopped out of there, and both of my friends proceeded to lose their virginities. At some point during a cop started walking by and the car was visibly rocking. I thought as quick as I could and started pretending like I was trying to push the trunk closed, as if it weren't closing all the way. Neither of them ever knew how close they came to being sex offenders. I've posted this before but still funny to me. Dating a gymnast in high school. We go to a park and I see parallel bars that are designed for stretching, but I'm convinced I can do a handstand on them because I'm awesome. She keeps insisting they are too far apart, but I don't listen. Attempt said handstand. They were indeed too far apart. So I collapsed down, jamming my chest past my hands and strain/tear all the ligaments holding my chest muscles to my breastbone. Good times were not had later, or for a long while after. The funniest part is that this was her area of expertise, and you still decided you knew better. He definitely didn't impress her with listening skills or athletic prowess that day. When I was a teen, I took taekwondo classes and there were two beautiful girls around my age. They liked to go and have a smoke behind them all before class, and I wanted to be cool and impress them, so I took up smoking too. It was about 2 weeks, and when one girl came to class early, so I went and had a smoke with her. Then the next girl came in and wanted to have a smoke, so I went and had another one with her. When we came back, we started doing our warm-up laps, and I felt very queasy. I had to throw up, so ran outside, right next to the Dairy Queen. I threw up all over the glass wall where the cashiers and several people eating looked on in horror. This is my favorite one. Did you ever smoke again? I never smoked again. Took my friend to the driving range and she asked if her insanely hot friend could come as well. Said friend mentions she's never hit a golf ball before, so I'm thinking jackpot, I've got a way into talking to this girl and an excuse to ask her back out one-on-one. If that goes well, get to the range, hit a couple of warm-up shots while she's getting her clubs rented, and she takes the spot next to me. Decide really crush this ball to impress her and give the swing everything I've got. Miss the ball and clip the ground and broke the club right off the pole. It proceeds to bounce back and smack me in the face and give me a solid shiner all while she's watching. Edit. Wow, thanks for the silver. My first serious girlfriend is home alone, and I think this might be the day I get off of second base. I'm all of 13, hormone addled, and obviously confident this girl is the love of my life. It's midsummer and I know I can bike the 3-ish miles pretty quickly. I tell my parents I'm going to see my friend right around the block. They warn me that a thunderstorm is rolling in, and I tell them it takes no time to get there. 10 minutes later I'm only halfway there, terrified, crying, pedaling as hard as I can to go downhill against the wind. My all metal framed BMX knockoff Huffy doing its best to not get hit with lightning and fuse me to its shiny silver exterior forever. 30+ minutes after that, I pull into her garage and thank God that all the rain has hid the fact I've been ugly sobbing the entire way. Her parents then pull in as I'm literally hunched over trying to catch my breath. I tell them this was the only house I knew on the street, and it would have been life-threatening to bike the rest of the way home in this storm. They smile, probably knowing it was a lie, and treated me to a nice dinner. It ends with a very awkward drive home with her father, my bike in the back of his truck. Oh, finally, I can tell this story. My sister was driving me back to college after Thanksgiving break, and there was this cool girl who drove a yellow Jeep Wrangler who I had some classes with. On the road getting closer to the school, I saw a yellow Jeep coming up next to us in the left lane. Of course, I thought it had to be her. I was in the passenger seat and decided it would be a great idea to open the sunroof, stick my head out, and say hello. Mind you, we are going about 60 miles per hour, and I wear glasses. I opened the sunroof, stuck my head out, turned to face the upcoming car, and my glasses flew off my face. I'm practically blind without them. I yelled at my sister to pull over, and we spent the next 30 minutes wandering around the side of the highway, blind, to try and find my frames. They got pretty smashed up, but luckily the lenses weren't too scratched. I was able to get some duct tape and a pair of sunglasses at a gas station and rig up the monstrosities I wore on my face for the rest of that semester. No cash for new ones. To this day I still don't know if it was her driving that Jeep. Got a tattoo to impress a girl in my psych class. It did nothing, and now I have a piece of shit piece by a guy named Philly Steve on my leg forever. Call me if you see this, Ashley. Jesus, I literally can't imagine thinking I'll get a shitty drawing to wear for the rest of my life. This surely could never backfire. Learned how to rap Crack a Bottle by Eminem. When I showed him I could, he only knew the clean version and I knew the actual dirty version. How was this delivered? Did you just go up to him and start rapping at him, or did you wait for an opportunity? I can't imagine what this kind of opportunity looks like. When he came and picked me up he played It BC, it's his favorite song. That's how I was able to show him I don't think he even told me or looked impressed lol. Kept telling me I was saying the wrong lyrics when it was supposed to be the clean version.